Hey, what's up guys, Frank here with another video, and today I wanted to make a video to test and compare three softwares that I like related to background removal. Okay, so I want to test background removal, and so the software that I'm going to try today are, first of all, Microsoft Designer, the second is Canva, and the third is Adobe Express. So let's go right in. So to do this test, I will be using three kinds of images so that we can test a wider range of options that I usually encounter during my business, okay? So the first image that I'm going to test is a simple image that is basically only black on a white background. So this should be pretty simple. And then the second image that I'm going to try is a more complex image of some ski goggles with more complex details. And as you can see here, there are some white inside. And so I want to see how each program is going to behave in this case. And then the third image that I'm going to try is basically a picture of me. And basically, I just want to test how the background removal is going to work on a picture. Okay, so this is basically just a picture of me because I'm so sexy. So let's go. So test number one, let's try first of all with Microsoft Designer. Okay, and Microsoft Designer has this thing here, remove background, and I'm gonna do it. I'm basically going to slide my image one in and I'm going to upload it, and I'm gonna try to remove the background. Okay. And as we can see here, the result is a bit not good, okay? And we can clearly see that it didn't do a very good job. So I'm gonna try here with the quick select, because with the quick select, I'm able to select using AI some part of the images, but as we can see, it's not able to capture anything that we can really work with. Okay, so I'm a bit surprised here. I was expecting Microsoft Designer to do a better job here, but it is what it is. So as of right now, I don't seem able to remove this background from this image, from this very simple image. I'm a bit concerned about that. Okay, so now let's try the second one, which is Canva. I'm gonna create a logo here, and I'm simply going to slide my first image here, set as background, and then I'm going to edit the photo and remove the background. Okay, so as we can see here, it was able to remove the background. So let me try another color just to test it out. So as we can see, it did a pretty good job at removing the background. You see, the image also has some sort of floor here, and if we're going to use Canva in this case, we might need to remove it manually with the eraser. So now I'm just going to remove it just like this, nice and clean. Okay, so there you go. Now I'm pretty happy with this design, and so I just removed the background using Canva, and this is a thumbs up. Now let's try with Adobe Express. And Adobe Express has this little thing here called quick action. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna slide the image inside, and as we can see, it was not able to remove properly all the image, all the white. So I'm gonna open an editor here to see if I can do something. Okay, I'm gonna change the background color so that I can see properly. So here I'm able to remove the background using this option here, but it's still missing a lot of white. Okay, it's still missing a lot of white, so I'm a bit concerned about that. And I can use the brush here, which allows me to select all the white, but it's removing a little bit too much. Okay, I'm able to remove some of those. So I'm able to use the quick selection, but you see the quick selection, you have to be very careful to not go too fast, because if you go too fast with the quick selection, then you're removing some part of the design. So that's something to keep in mind. So another thing that you can do with Adobe Express is use the brush here to manually remove the background, but this is more time consuming and you have to be even more careful with the brush. So far, I'm not very pleased with this. So that's pretty much it for my test number 1. And I think that the winner for this first test is obviously Canva, because Canva was able to remove all the white, and the only thing that was missing is the gray that was at the bottom, but I was able to remove it using the erase, and it was pretty easy to do. So now let's do the test number 2. So let's start with Microsoft Designer, and so I'm going to select remove background here, and I'm going to slide my image number 2, which is an image that is a little bit more complex. So my first thought about this is that it removed the big white background, but I think it also kind of messed up my design here. Like the edge are not very good here. My image is kind of broken or whatever, and I'm not super pleased about that because it doesn't look so good, okay? But overall, it was still able to remove the background, but let's just put another color just to see here. So what I'm going to try is restore original. So what I'm going to try now is simply use the tools to try and remove the background manually, okay? And so here I'm able to select the parts that I want to remove, and I just have to be very careful not to select anything inside the goggles because I want the inside to remain good. Okay, so now I was able to select all of that, so I'm gonna remove the white here. So it didn't do a very good job. So Microsoft Designer might not be the best to do these things as well. I was still able to remove the background, but the edge are not super good here, so I'm not sure if I like that. Okay, so let's try here with Canva. I'm gonna just slide my image right here. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger here, and I'm gonna try and remove the background. Okay, I think it did a really great job again. You see, and the edge are really great. This is really awesome. The edge are great. It removed the background properly, and I was still able to keep the white inside the image, so I'm very pleased about that. And so far Canva is destroying this test, okay? So this is really good. So now let's try with Adobe Express. And Adobe Express, I'm gonna remove the background here. I'm gonna slide my image inside. And let's see here. I think it did a pretty good job, but let's see in the editor to see it properly. Let's just change the color of the background. And okay, I think it did a really great job at removing the background, and it seemed pretty similar to Canva. So I'm pretty pleased with that. So I think this is really great. So test number 2 is a draw with Canva and Adobe Express. So now let's do the final test number 3. And the final test number 3 is a picture of me. So again, let's start with Microsoft Designer. I'm going to slide my image, upload, and here we have a picture of me, and it removed the background, but again, you can see that it didn't do a really great job. I mean, there's my hoodie here that is missing my thing, and my headphones are kind of messed up, and my neck, we can see the chair that I have here. And again, in Microsoft Designer, I'm not so pleased about that again. So now let's try to restore original, and let's try to do things manually then, okay? So now I'm able to remove the wall, remove object, quick select. So I seem able to select the things that I want to remove manually from the background, but it's not exactly the best solution, because even though I removed all the object manually, we can see all the lines that are still there. So I think overall it did a pretty good job, but it would need more work in order to remove all these lines, because I don't seem able to remove all these lines. Oh, okay, so by clicking the remove background here, I was able to remove all the lines. So an option that you can have with Microsoft Designer is to first of all select everything manually, all the object manually. Okay, all the object manually, and then you remove them. And then once you're done doing that, you can click on the remove background, and then it remove all the excess. So that's an option that you have. Now I just see my chair that I don't like here. So there you go. So that's an option that you have, and I'm quite pleased about this. Maybe there is only my headphones here. There you go. I think this is a pretty good enough image, and yeah, I think this is pretty good. The only thing is that you have to do multiple manual manipulations in order to arrive to the results. So okay, now let's try with Canva. Okay, so now I'm gonna slide my image in. I'm gonna remove the background, and there you go. And as you can see, again, Canva was able to do a really great job again. The only thing is that I think I would prefer to remove my chair here, but Canva left it there. So what you can do in this case is remove it manually using the brush, but this is another manual work. So there you go. I was able to remove the background using Canva, and the result was not exactly perfect because the chair was still there, but I was able to remove the chair using the brush, and my hoodie and my arm might not be perfect here, but I was able to remove the chair. So this is a pretty good result, and I feel pretty good about this. So now let's try with Adobe Express. So I'm gonna remove the background. I'm gonna slide my image in. And first of all, I think it did a pretty good job, but I'm gonna open the editor to see how that goes. I'm simply going to change the background so that we can see what's happening. Okay, so I think overall it did a pretty good job, but there is my shoulder here that is kind of not right, and my hoodie here is kind of messed up. It kind of erased this part here near my chair, so I'm not sure about that, but I think overall it did a pretty good job here. But I might be able to restore some things. Okay, so it seems like I was able to restore the part of my hoodie that was missing using this tool here, this erase tool, but instead of erasing, you're restoring. So I think this is pretty cool that Adobe Express has this thing about restoring. So even though I removed a bit too much, I was able to restore some of this thing here. And let's see if I can actually remove this part. Yes, okay, so this is pretty good. So I was able to remove this part on my shoulder that I didn't like, and I was able to restore my hoodie here. So I think this is pretty good. So test number 3, I think that for test number 3, all these tools did a really great job. So it is a draw for all of these tools. So Microsoft Designer, Canva, and Adobe Express did a really great job with my picture. So in conclusion, Canva won the test number 1. The test number 2 was a draw between Adobe Express and Canva. And finally, test number 3, it was a draw between all the apps. And so Microsoft Designer, Canva, and Adobe Express They all did a great job with my last picture. So in the end, I think that to remove the background, I think that overall Canva does a better job than any of these apps, because Canva actually won all of these 3 tests. So in my case, I believe that to remove the background, Canva would be the best software to fill my needs. And so I hope that this video was helpful to you, and let me know if you have any question. And if this video was valuable to you, you could consider subscribing and liking to my channel. And that's it for this video, okay? Peace.